I'm Scott.
I'm TJ.
And this is a review. On today's episode, we'll be reviewing Pinocchio! 2022 Pinocchio live-action remake starring Tom Hanks as Pinocchio. Just kidding, he's Geppetto. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays
Jiminy Cricket.
Jiminy Cricket, and it's directed by Robert Zemeckis, who directed Back to the Future,
The Polar Express,
and all those terrible CGI movies, yes. I don't know, thumbs up, thumbs down, what'd you think about Pinocchio 2022?
I'm giving it a... something like two sideways thumbs.
That's a pretty good review. I give it hard thumbs down, personally. This was a big thumbs down for me.
Just one thumb?
Oh, yeah.
It could have been worse?
Nah, it could have been worse.
Yeah, okay,
it could have been worse. It was one thumb. There was some funny moments. There's some stuff that we'll talk about more in the full review if you'd like. But first, before we get to that, I think you better like and subscribe because, you know, if you don't, your nose is going to grow out a mile and it's going to break your monitor. And you don't want that, do you?
No, you don't.
So like and subscribe or you'll turn into a jackass.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass. Whoa!
Spoilers ahead.
From now on, we will be having a full-on spoiler talk, so if you haven't seen it somehow, any version of this story, tune out.
Yeah, you wait and watch the movie if you don't want to know. But hey, if you don't mind spoilers, then keep watching. But there's your warning. There's your spoiler skull warning. But you're right, this Pinocchio movie, it's hard to spoil because it's basically a shot-for-shot remake of the original Pinocchio.
Right, just kind of like The Lion King, kind of like Aladdin.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
All the humans are humans, it's a human world, and all the animals and the puppets are CGI. Mostly everything else is CGI other than the humans. So it's a weird kind of mix. And I don't know, like the cat, did it need to be CGI?
No, and oh my god, every scene with the cat, when it's like meow, and it's like, just either have it be a real cat or make it obviously more animated. Because it almost like wasn't animated enough.
Right.
But animated. It was a weird middle ground that it should not have been in. It should have been an extreme in one way.
It looked just like the original cartoon, but it did look like they were trying to make it look kind of real, but not really. And then the fish, also the same thing. And it's
I like the fish more. I will say I like the fish more.
Yeah, it's odd, but
I also think Honest John works a little bit better than some other things.
Honest John freaked me the out.
But I think that's effective. I think that's exactly what you want from an Honest John in this sort of...
Like when he showed up and he was like, ah-da-dee-da-da, and I was like, what the f***? There's talking foxes in this?
What does the fox say?
Yeah.
Like I don't remember Pinocchio, the original cartoon, that well. I'm not a big Pinocchio head.
No.
I'm just gonna say that right now.
Great adventures await!
The CGI, I think, was a little bit like, Pinocchio, I didn't really particularly, he looked too shiny. It was the same thing with the cat, where it was like, too much like the cartoon, but kind of real, but not, and...
I think it was exactly what it needed to be, but it's not how I would prefer it. Because my problem with these is they're too on-the-nose remakes, but...
On the nose.
Whoa! But for real, I mean, they're just way too like shot-for-shot remaking of their animated cartoons. Instead of really making it their own, they'll add one or two things. The one thing Aladdin, Lion King, and this movie all has in common.
One more song?
They add one more song, and it's all for a female protagonist.
Was it the new puppet song?
Yeah,
I was wondering if that was a new one, because I couldn't remember if there was a similar scene or if that was... It felt new.
And it felt new.
It felt like that girl's character was expanded a little bit. Once again, I don't remember the original, but I remember main beats. Pleasure Island, the Monstro, the Long Nose, the Donkeys. 2022, if you don't know, is the year of Pinocchio. So that's the thing. This is the year of Pinocchio. It's a lot of Pinocchio-themed stuff is happening this year. I'm going as Pinocchio for Halloween this year. Gonna have like the really short shorts on. It's gonna be great.
I like the hat idea.
Yeah, the hat.
It'll look good.
Yeah. I'm gonna have like the really rosy cheeks. Yeah. Let's talk about Tom Hanks.
You mean Colonel Parker from
Colonel
Elvis?
Parker Strikes Back.
Da-da-da.
Da-da-da. Yeah, this is...
Make it snow, Pinocchio.
Pinocchio, you'll be a real boy.
I gotta be honest, I love Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
America's dad, one of many.
Yeah.
You know, he's a fantastic, but I had to turn on subtitles for the beginning of this movie. I could not understand him. I had my TV at 75, and like I couldn't figure out what he was saying.
It was a real choice to just be like, hold on, we're way to what?
Pinocchio.
You swam faster than any clippers, Pinocchio. You honestly did try with all you. What else makes you unselfish and very, very brave?
I just wish that it was more inventive.
I do think that kids will enjoy this. I don't think they'll have nearly any of these criticisms that we have. Like,
we're not the target audience.
No, not at all. I think,
should your kids watch this? Yeah, probably.
Once again, though, I would
Pinocchio.
even say watch the original one first. But yeah, it's not gonna watch them both. Who cares?
Do you think, as a kid, if you saw this first, you'd like it more or less than the original? If you saw the original after?
It's really hard to say. I mean, I don't. The original, all these cartoons, the original animation looks great. Like, I love those cartoons as a kid, so I can't imagine not liking those more still. I mean, I think kids would probably still connect with the cartoons. This is weird. I mean, I think there's a weird element where they're like gonna not relate to that as much as the cartoon.
Yeah, I get that.
Turn around, let me get a look at you. I will be right here when you get back.
Pinocchio is running around loose without a conscience? Can you imagine the trouble he's gonna get into?
Wouldn't want that on my conscience.
So I think this is a perfect time to bring us to final thoughts. So I'll start. I'll give you final thoughts right away here. I think I've been pretty clear. I was not a fan of this Pinocchio movie. I did give it a thumbs down at the start of the show. And this is why. I think it's bland. I think the CGI doesn't mesh well with the live action characters. I think if you're going to make a movie with mostly CGI characters, then just make it all CGI, make it a cartoon. And then, oh my God, it's already been made. It's a cartoon that came out 50 years ago or whatever. So I think this is completely unnecessary. It's fun to watch as a novelty. It's on streaming, so I mean, it's not going to hurt you to flip it on. I think your kid will enjoy it. But me personally, I got to give Pinocchio 2022 one donkey out of 5.
Your nose just grew.
TJ, take it away. Final thoughts.
Really? 1 out of 5?
This did nothing for me. Huh. And I found it boring, and I mean, I thought Tom Hanks was kind of funny a little bit at times.
Sure, but he's not in it a ton.
No.
I get that.
No. What about you?
You know, we've touched on it a lot. It is a shot-for-shot remake, besides adding a musical number, which is actually one of my favorite parts, if I'm being honest. I really like that. But to its credit, I liked it because it was new. You know, like, it just was something that, even though I didn't remember the animated movie going in, when I watched it, it felt familiar. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that now. I remember that now. That looks exactly like it did when it was a cartoon and I was a kid. So, if you haven't seen this already, sure, it's probably fine. I would still watch the cartoon version over this. That being said, this is totally fine. If you love the cartoon and you want to see it, Tom Hanks is cool in it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Jiminy Cricket, and he's totally fine.
He sounds exactly like original Jiminy Cricket. Yeah.
Totally. It's just, it tries its best to be the original, and it does a fine job at it. So I would give it 2 out of 5 Pinocchios.
There's a lot to pick from.
There's so many to pick from.
You will always be my real boy.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Or Your pedo will turn you into a puppet. And you'll have to live with the creepy Tom Hanks, and you can't understand what he's saying. We all grieve in different ways. Making puppets of our dead children is one way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the closest thing you could do to taxidermy for children. It's true.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.